think about did you watch Cory Booker talking about the lady that was nominated and how
Well, he was like going off, right?
He was going off.
He was talking about the freedom of America. I saw parts of his speech, his ridiculous shit that he always does.
Well, he was talking about she deserves to be in her position, and I'm going to show it to you.
Was it good?
It was pretty good, but I want to ask you. Okay, let me see if I see it here, because he was crying. And
was he crying? He's a very theatrical dude. I met him a few times. He was cool as shit.
Yeah, but I mean, my thing is, she has a white husband.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious? Oh man.
Yeah, let me show you him.
Damn.
And I was just like,
damn.
I had posted
damn.
it. I know, and I was just like, I'm still looking for that Obama feel. Like when Obama was in, I was just like, let me see the wife. And when I see Michelle, I was like, yes.
Right, yes.
I was like, it's that feeling of
word.
But like now with her, it's just kind of like,
damn.
Yeah. Her name is Jackson, I believe.
Yeah, beat it, Bop 221. Get your bitch ass out of here.
Katanji. And let me show you her husband.
Yeah, shut the fuck with that bitch and always. Yeah, get that Bop 221 out of here before someone punched him in the mouth. Yeah, block them, man.
Oh, wow, what happened? What'd they say?
Nah, someone's talking shit on here. Just like, oh, please, go about your business.
Yeah, so anyway, I was just kind of like...
Yeah, see, I'm afraid of that because if she's like a Supreme Court person...
Here you go.
Oh, no. Jeez. Oh, man. Oh, man. Damn.
Yeah, just
I just want to make sure like her feelings about black people aren't changed, because sometimes I don't know what she's about, but a lot of oh man. My thing is for her to be a judge, how is she going to treat black men?
If you don't find black men valuable enough to marry, then how will you find black men valuable enough to defend against a racist American justice system? And that is a real concern. I mean, if she was just a regular degular, cool. But she's in a position of power representing us. And what does that say to America? That you can't you're a black woman, but you can't marry a black man.
I don't know. I'm just hoping she doesn't, I hope she's not one of those that, hates black men. I mean, I'm hoping. I don't know. Oh, man. Like you got Clarence Thomas, who has a white woman, right?
Clarence Thomas was the devil, okay? So
it's like you got a black man who has a white woman and a white... Oh, man, that's in the Supreme Court.
In the Supreme Court, and it's just like, it's just not a good look.
God damn.
Somebody said you wouldn't marry a Puerto Rican, Aisha, theoretically speaking.
Well, Puerto Ricans aren't white.
Puerto Ricans are not white.
It has to be a Puerto Rican that accepts their... It has to be a Puerto Rican that accepts their African heritage, too.
I can't get my history out of my head. I just would feel like if I was married to a white man, I would feel like I was fucking my master or my master's son or something.
But I'm just saying, I just
can't.
It's just, you got Clarence Thomas, who doesn't like black people, and then you got her, who I don't know how she feels about black people. My thing is just the judgments that she's gonna make on cases. Like, will she take that? I don't know. Is she a black woman that has a white man but still likes her blackness and is not angry at black men? I don't know.
Let me tell you something. These are the conversations. Like the conversations I have with my man about black women are queens. They're beautiful. They're the original woman. Blah blah blah. How can you have someone of the other race and have those kind of conversations and not offend them. Because if I'm with a white guy and I'm like, black men are the kings of this earth, they're the original man, they are this, they are that, and I'm with a white guy, he would probably feel like, well, damn, what you with me for? So there's no way you could be with someone of another race and speak that way about your own people. You'd have to water it down.
Yeah. Some people do that too. Some will be super black, but won't be with a black person.
And it's like with her and her position, right? It's like, why not take your position and put another black man in that position? Because if you're a Supreme Court judge and you have a black husband, he's the Supreme Court judge too. Because you know your man you're gonna have pillow talk. He's gonna give you his input. He's gonna have some type of influence over you. That's her husband. He's going to have, now he might be all for Black Lives Matter. He might, you know, but at the end of the day, she's not.
Yeah.
Just by the spouse you chose. That's just the reality. You know, it doesn't mean that she's not a genuine person. Doesn't mean he's not. But there's certain decisions that you make that speak volumes as to what's in your heart.
Yeah, because how does he feel about black dudes, her husband? Because if you have a white dude, a lot of times, a lot of white guys have a problem with black male presence. How's he going to feel? But then their kids are black. I say, your kid, your daughter or son is black. Now they're black. So maybe she'll go by, well, what if my kid gets into a situation? How am I going to treat that? That's the one thing that's saving us, is that the kids come out black.
I mean, somebody needs to yoke up the kid. Like, we need to stage that. Like, you know, we need to have a racist situation and see how you really stand. You need a wake-up call.
She says, so are you saying that she doesn't like, no one said that, miss. Stop putting words in my mouth.
What? Let me go back and what?
There's somebody trying to be by trolling. So are you saying that she doesn't like black people? No one's saying that.
Who doesn't? That's not what I'm saying.
No. It's called a low IQ. Miss, listen to what we're saying.
This is what I was going to say next.
Listen to what we're saying.
Listen on the surface. Godfrey is an intellectual man. I'm an intellectual woman. So when we talk, we have intellectual conversation. We're not speaking on the surface. You got to look a little deeper into what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're not talking about
what I'm saying? We're not talking about that she doesn't like.
We're talking about there's a possibility.
Even just, are you conditioned? Because some people have preconditioned notions about people and their subconscious, and they don't even realize it. So if you are spending the most of your life in your free time with your white husband, taking you to white crowds in a white environment full of white thoughts, you've got to be impacted in some way. You know what I mean? It's impossible not to be. We're all impacted by our friends. We're all impacted by our environment. You know what I mean? You're impacted by that. So we're not talking about somebody that's just being a lawyer. We're talking about people's lives hanging in a balance in a system that is racist, that is, you know, here to take us down. Yeah. We ain't riding through white neighborhoods shooting white people and dragging them out of cars, or you got to put, you know, where black men literally are scared to death when they get pulled over. My hands are on the wheel, officer. I mean, people who are going before a judge in a system like this, they have to be people who are sharp, who are historically sharp and conscious of who they are and where we're trying to go versus where we've been. And if you are going over there, you ain't that. I'm sorry.
And that's the thing, is once she gets in the Supreme Court, they can do whatever the fuck they want. Like, that's a lifetime job. It's like, that's a lifetime job. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man.
You know, it's like you don't pick. You know. I'm going to be looking at you to have justice, but you didn't even try to get a black guy. That's a little suspect. Kamala too. Kamala got a white husband. It's like these black women in power have these white husbands, and you know, if traditional households, the husband runs the show. So what are y'all really white men in disguise?
Yeah, it's you know, I'm just saying you can be with whoever you want, just hopefully you still keep your integrity, your cultural integrity, and be fair. That's all I ask. Is just be fair. Like, you know what I mean? Let's say I have.
But can you? But can you be fair? Can you be fair?
It's you to be fair. You have to really be like, no, I'm going to be fair. This because that means you're in that relationship over some it's an agenda, or it's a trauma thing. But if you really like, let's say I'm with a woman that's not black, it doesn't mean I hate black women. I would no, it would never. I'm saying if I did, let's say I just happen to be with some Asian woman, all right, I wouldn't hate black women. I wouldn't be, oh, are you with this Asian woman because you hate black women? It's like, nah, she just
So if you got with an Asian woman right now, and the way you get on that thing,
it'll be a little funny, like, what, Godfrey? But
yeah, like when not only that, let me ask you, let's say you didn't go on Vlad yet to do that thing about black women.
Right.
Your wife is there to support you. You're going for that show. Can you speak like that with your wife sitting right next to you?
It would be contradictory.
Not only contradictory, it would be hurtful to her, maybe.
Yeah,
like,
it would be like that. Right. She'd be like, well, why are you with me? That's all facts. Because it wouldn't be fair to her. You know, it wouldn't be fair to her. But it would be facts though. It would be facts. Like it would be facts.
So you have to be a very strong-minded man. You have to be a little bit cold, whereas her feelings don't really matter about the truth. Because most of the time people lies because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Most lies are because...
Yo, I'd be like, listen, I'm just going to be 100 with you. I'm pro-black as fuck. And I'm going to say shit about black folk. And it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean I'm belittling you. It's just what I'm saying about black people is
see, but if you got a black chick, you ain't even got to do all that.
I'm just being hypothetical.
No, I know, I'm being sarcastic.
I'm just saying, Chow Ling, listen, Chow Ling. I love you to death, but when I speak about my people, it's because we need it, because we need repair, because we're traumatized race. And everything I say about us is just to fortify the race. It's not anything against you. It has to be a conversation. You have to talk about it like, hey, this is going to be the dynamic. We're in an interracial relationship. We have to have a conversation so we'll be prepared for outside entities. So we can be like, okay, you know how we talk. You know how I'm talking. You know what this means. This doesn't take anything from you. I respect you, blah, blah, blah. It has to be a communication thing. Period, because they're gonna feel a certain way, you know. If I was with let's say I was with a white woman and she's like, white men are amazing, blah blah blah, blah. I go, whoa, then why?
It doesn't line up, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You can.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Everybody's going to feel a certain way racially because the fucked up thing about it is that the European system has made this fucked up. They've made it like this. They've made it where race is important. They categorized us. They started all this bullshit. Now, if there was no such thing, it wouldn't matter who you were dating. It wouldn't even matter. No one would give a fuck. But the fact that slavery, Jim Crow, civil rights, segregation, you know, the Europeans started all this shit. What about the Native Americans?
But not even necessarily, not just them. I mean, this has been going on before slavery.
No, that's what I'm saying. Thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, when you look at European history, if a Spaniard queen was going to marry even a French, there was some type of meeting between nations to talk about the benefits and the political relationship and the political benefits of it. People didn't just mix for fun. There were
there's business deals.
Oh, business. Yeah. Even if you go into tribes like Native Americans, if you were from the Sunni tribe, you know, you got the other, Navajo. I mean, you couldn't just do that for reasons of every race, I believe, has a responsibility. Every race has a gift. So there's certain things that the French do. There's certain things that Nigerians do. There's certain
of course.
Things that,
Igbos and the Yorubas, hell yeah. Oh,
yeah, there's certain things that, you know, wherever you're from, there's certain gifts that you bring to the earth that's what you do. You know, you cultivate certain things. And I think that it's important to hold on to those cultures and keep them, I don't want to use the word pure, but keep them wholesome so that those cultures don't die out.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I think that like one of my best friends is a Russian Jew, one of my best friends, and I don't want to be Russian. I don't want her culture, but I respect her culture. I can be an observer and be all involved and not try to be it. The problem, I think, with some people is they don't know how to observe and respect from the outside looking in. You got to try to infiltrate and penetrate and be it. You don't have to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. Yeah, a lot of stuff comes from self-hatred, and you try to substitute your own personal life by getting so buried and, you know, just so involved and try to like shed your own culture. No, you can, like, I think, like, for example, we could appreciate, okay, so black women always have weaves. This is a weave, right?
Yeah.
People say this is a European look. This texture is not European. This texture, I could say, is Ethiopian. This texture, I could say, is Egyptian. It doesn't have to be European. But I like it. There's nothing wrong with liking it. But I don't necessarily want to be that. There's a difference. It's just like white women that love the shape of some black women. You can love it and like it. You can even get, as long as you're aware of who you are and who they are. And you give people the respect of who they are. You know, everybody brings something beautiful to the table. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when you think you're ugly and that's superior. That's when you start to have the problems.
Yeah.
You know? So that's my take on that. But
real. So that's why this Supreme Court, I wish they had term limits on the Supreme Court. Yeah, they don't. It's a lifetime job.
I mean, who came up with that shit?
White men did. Shit. White men came up with all this shit.
Some of these people, let me tell you, when I was locked up, right, there was this girl who got a reversal on her case because it came out. Thank goodness there was a good court officer who recorded the judge playing solitaire during the trial.
What? Solitaire?
Yeah, on the computer. You playing, you sitting at the trial, but you playing solitaire.
Because they don't care.
Yeah. So the point that I'm making is like, you know, you just got to be careful when people get into these positions.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I just, oof. Man, she got it. And the dude that she with don't even look like her type. Like, they look totally,
But, you know, she's a dark-skinned woman.
Yeah,
you know, dark-skinned women have been demonized, have been uglified, you know, and sometimes they take comfort in these white men that'll be like, oh, you're beautiful. And no black man has told. Now, that's the other side of the game. You know what I'm saying?
The finest thing on the planet either. So I get it. But a woman like her, black dudes like women like that. I've seen black women that have. You know,
I'm just speaking in general. You know,
it's like a girl from Slim and what does she call it? She got
a white husband.
What? Yeah, and he's regular raggedy looking motherfucker. And she said, "Oh, I used to be made fun of." She's pretty. She's like, I used to make fun of because I was dark. So she's traumatized. Because she said it in an article. Oh, I used to be made fun of. Now you're saying you're with this white man because black men, a couple black dudes hurt you. It's like, you're not saying, oh, I love my husband. You're like, black people used to. I was like, oh, we got another one. Well, Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, he was like, black women used to make fun of me because I was nerdy, So
he's got a white woman too?
Mm-hmm.
She said, exactly, black women turn to other cultures because our black man doesn't make us feel like queens. What do you think of that, Godfrey?
Every black man does not do that. And a lot of times, the black girls that are bitching are the ones that are not that dope.
Sometimes, but then sometimes.
But a lot of times, the black women that are fly are never struggling. They're never struggling. They're always, you know what I mean? But there's, there's good-looking black women that, date outside their race. But I don't know what it is, but whether it's a black man or a black woman, we always choose the ugliest white people. We both have horrible taste, boy. It'd be a black woman with a horrible looking white man and a black dude with a horrible looking white woman.